Okay, now as you can see, I'm turning the motor, and we bleed it 3 times. Left 3 times, right 3 times. So now you can see, you know, and you can see the motor is turning. So I'm essentially testing the leak, you know. Um, so we bleed it 3 times, you know, purge the air out of there, and you know, which is pretty oily, you know. You can see all that oil, you know. See all that oil. See all the oil here, you know, pretty oily. No leak, which is a good sign. You know, so did it. Oh, yeah. Now I can put this cap back. You know, but that's bleeding it 3 times, so may need to uh, bleed it more times. But that's for today. You know, that's it for today. You know. So this is the pretty tight. Pretty tight. There's no room for leak. Let's check the leak here to see if there's anything leaking. You know, I don't see anything leaking, and over here I don't see anything leaking either. You know, so which is a good sign, and it's a success. You know, so let me turn the motor. You can see how this works. I'm turning to the right, you know, so you can see the black cylinder slide all the way to the right, or our left. See that? Now, turning to the left, I don't know why I hear that noise. Okay, I don't know if you heard it, but that noise is kind of bizarre. Anyway, so what we did was um, uh, without putting this in, I started once I opened the cap here, I started using just this thread without this piece, and I started to try to thread this tube onto this fill cap or fill hole, and then Yeah, see that? Now I can turn my motor, you know, all the way there. I can see underneath there's a little bit of oil, so I'm gonna wipe that clean and come out tomorrow. This leak is from when I try to see that those under here. I'm gonna wipe it clean and then check it out tomorrow. See if it continues to leak. Or this is before when I was trying to bleed the system. That's why the leak. You know. So. Time. We're going to turn this motor to the left, and you can see the not sure what's that noise. Now motor turns all the way to the left. I'm gonna give it a few turns, see if anything will leak. Nothing leaks, so I'm turning it back to the right now. You can see the motor turns pretty smoothly all the way to the left. The bow is shaking because I'm trying to do a hard right to test the motor, to test the pressure, make sure the pressure is going to hold. You know, all the seals are good. So I'm making a left turn now. You can see the motor, the cylinder is sliding pretty well. I don't know if I need to grease that bar where that black piece cylinder is sliding left to right. Maybe that's the reason why it's making that noise, because it's not greased. You know, maybe I should, you know, apply some small grease to it to smooth things out. But so far so good. That's BayStar Hydraulic thing, and I connected it and it looks pretty cool. You know, the way things are with regard to this hydraulic BayStar steering. You know, so anyway, the trick is to. Oh, by the way, I only used one bottle. Another bottle in the back, sitting on the table over there. So basically, you're gonna try to fill the system, the tubes and the cylinder, and it's probably gonna use just one bottle. And you know, and you need a person in the front, keep turning the wheel to the right. We did that 3 times, and then to purge the air out of here. And this is the valve to counterclockwise. Okay, counterclockwise like that to let the air out. You know, after you attach this plastic piece to a container, I have a measurement cup, bigger measurement cup, so I just use that to get the oil, and that's how I did it. You know, cut this, and you know, and then and then and then of course this screw onto this bottle, the end of this bottle, and it's not a perfect match, So they actually leaks out of here when we were bleeding the hydraulic oil out of the system. Try to purge the air out of the system. But in any case, that's it. That's BayStar Hydraulic system for my Johnson 90 horsepower, and I don't have to deal with the rusted tube in the back, because right now I can steer this motor uh, with the hydraulic steering, and it's a bit more efficient way to steer this motor. Okay, so there you have it. So let me do the demonstration again. So what I did was, to unscrew this cap, okay, and then turn this clockwise, turn this tube clockwise, and then once it's connected, I get my bottle here, and because this plastic tube can bend, so you can easily sit down and attach this bottle while that end is connected to the fuel cap, or to the fuel hole, because it's threaded in. And then next thing you do is, because you didn't cut this yet, you hold this, turn this thing upside down, and then you start to cut a hole here, and then the oil was started to, once the air is opened up, the air was started to flow into the tubes all the way to the back of the engine, and certainly the oil is going to stop flowing. So the next thing, you need another person back there, because you need to watch this fluid, because it stopped. Another person back there, he is going to unscrew the port side, which is the left side of that motor, over there, that direction, and he's gonna unscrew that metal thing on the cylinder to let the air and the oil out. And what the person in front is going to be doing is turn this wheel to the right, just keep turning, and the oil will keep going down, flow through the system, and it's going to flow out of the back of the motor, and the air and the oil are going to continue to flow out, and you're going to catch it with a container. The second person is going to keep watching. Second person is going to turn the valve close when he doesn't see any bubbles, and then the front of the person is going to continue to do turning this for like 2 minutes. I don't think it's going to be 2 minutes, maybe a minute, or before this thing is drained. Pull the second bottle in here before the level reaches 0. You can't stop here. That 1 minute or 1 minute and a half or 2 minutes have to be continuous, because the oil and the air will have to continually try to get out of there. So and don't worry, it's not going to finish 2 bottles. The system does not take more than a bottle. So both left tube and right tube plus the cylinder in the back, they don't take more than 1 bottle of oil. And each bottle is, I believe, 1 quart, which is, I think this is 16 ounces. Sorry, 32 ounces, 1 quart. Anyway, so and then once the second person does not see any air, he should turn off the valve, meaning close it, and then the front of the person will not be able to continue to turn to the right because it's filled with oil. Now, as soon as, and the person in the back will have to switch the plastic and the container, the plastic tube and the container, to the right hand side, or the starboard side, and then the person in the front will, as soon as the person in the back release the valve, let the oil out, and the person should start turning the wheel to the left, okay, to the port. And then same thing, the second person is going to be able to see the bubbles going out and so forth. And then eventually you're going to, and the second person is going to close the valve as soon as he doesn't see any bubbles. And then come back to here, stop turning to the left, and then you're gonna repeat this process. You know, I think some people say 10 times. I just did it 3 times, but I may come back tomorrow and do it again. But that's how you purge the air out of the system. And so far, I only did it 3 times, and look, it's pretty responsive. Um, you know, for the for the for the for the motor to turn. And I think it's 4.5 or 5 turns for from the most right to the most left. So let's see if we get 5 turns out of here. So right now, you know, let me do this. So, whoops, sorry, gonna turn to the right. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 5.5. So I got 5.5 turns instead of 5 turns. Let's see how many turns we need to go for from the left side to the right side. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. It's about 5.25. You know, so I don't know if there's still air in there or what, but this is looking pretty good. So I'm happy the way it is, even though I only bleed the air 3 times, and I think I'm ready for water testing.